Hey there, friends. How's it going? Richard here. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to take a look at how you can possibly save some money if you're in the market for a brand new Tesla, a used Tesla, or any other vehicle for that matter. Just to share some background, I've been in the market, not no longer in the market, but a couple of months ago, made the decision that because of the changing size of our family, we needed a little more space, and the Model 3 that I've been driving for the last couple of years just wasn't cutting it. We took a couple of road trips, and it became really uncomfortable having to drive with the baby, adding all the baby stuff. And then also Uncle John, unfortunately, on our last trip where we drove to Atlanta and then Charleston, we weren't unable to take the big guy on the trip. If you haven't seen my videos before, Uncle John is my dog. Um, I don't need update that. Anyways, so in the last couple of months, placed an order, had some issues with financing, and so as a result of that, kind of stumbled across a few things that I didn't realize, and I wish I'd known this before because it would have maybe saved me a lot of time, maybe saved me a couple dollars, and moving forward. So I thought I'd make this video and share this with you so that if you are in the market for a Tesla or any other vehicle for that matter, this might help you save a couple bucks and sort of reduce the hassle of finding financing. So if you're buying a car, especially a Tesla, it's going to boil down to like three options. And I'm here on the Tesla build page. Let's say you're going to buy a new one. Same thing would probably apply if you're using existing inventory. Once you select your model, you go to payment. And there's going to be three options. Whether you do this here or within the app, it's going to be the same thing: cash, lease, or loan. We're not going to talk leasing for now because that's not really relevant to this video. So if you can pay in cash, God bless you. Hit me up. Let's have a beer sometime. But a lot of people, including myself, had to explore the loan option. And just like any other financing company, Tesla has its partners. I think it's TD Bank they work a lot with, US Bank, I want to say. I think they used to have a direct partnership with Chase. But anyways, they work with, when you submit your loan application for Tesla financing, they have their lending partners. And they're predominantly big traditional banks, right? So if you think about, again, Chase, TD Bank, US Bank, I'm trying to think what else they made partner, maybe Wells Fargo on their end. Those are the banks that Tesla is going to be submitting your loan application to. Now, generally speaking, I found, and this may not be true across the board, but I found that it's easier to obtain financing with a credit union, and generally the rate, your interest rate, is going to be lower with a credit union. The problem with a lot of credit unions is that they're very, very specialized. You have to be working with a certain employers. You have to be living in a certain place. So there are, again, geographic limitations, employment employment limitations, whatever limitations. And so oftentimes people will avoid or not even think about a credit union because of the added layer of difficulty. Fortunately, though, and this is where this kind of stumbled into this, there are credit unions available that there are no geographic limitations. You could apply from anywhere. At least for purpose of this video, in the United States. I'm not sure if this really applies around the world. There are credit unions where there are no employment affiliations, or you have to be a member or family member of a particular organization. So in this, before you go ahead and order a new Tesla and just use Tesla financing, check this out, see if you can get a better financing rate. And if you do, come back and give it a thumbs up. So in terms of like what I was doing, eventually, and I'll share this just so we're clear about it, is that I eventually went with a credit union that I had been a part of, and they offered me a very competitive rate. It just worked out that way. But in the time that, it was a long story. Like I had put down a reservation for a demo vehicle. The financing took longer than the window for delivery, so I lost that demo vehicle. And then as soon as I had a new payment, then I was waiting for a new VIN to be assigned to me. And here we are. But fortunately, it worked out that the interest rate I got was very competitive. And now it's just waiting for delivery day. But anyways, so in this video, we're going to talk about three credit unions that I've come across that, one, have, for the most part, competitive rates, don't have very much limitations or hoops that you have to jump through to become a member and apply for a loan. So if you are thinking about getting in the market for, again, a Tesla, or in the alternative, some other vehicle, like definitely consider these three and have these in your back pocket, maybe early on, so that you get the financing lined up. And then once the vehicle becomes available, you're ready to go. Generally speaking, a lot of credit unions, and I think banks, once they approve financing, will hold that financing for you for up to anywhere between 30 and 60 days. You definitely want to check with the lender just to confirm. But again, if you can line up the financing, you have a budget in mind, line up the financing at whatever you think the best interest rate is, or play around with different banks, so that when you do have or find the vehicle that you're going to move forward with purchasing, you are ready to go. All right. So again, for the purposes of this conversation, let's just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with Tesla financing. I want to see if I can beat Tesla financing. Here they've got it proposed. The estimated APR would be 5.69%. I don't know how true that is, because again, they're using that. That's probably presumptuous of somebody with really excellent credit, really excellent across the board. If that's you, thumbs up. God bless you. But let's see what else we have. One of the first ones that I came across was the United States Senate Federal Credit Union. There is no geographic limitation to apply. With this, you just have to join. It's like pay $15 to some consumer education organization. Again, there's probably like who knows where the money goes, but you join. It's like $15 to join an organization, and then you can become a member of this group. So what I did was, again, just to have it in my back pocket, I joined. Again, it was like some consumer education group, blah, 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 $15 to join. They emailed me a certificate right away, and then I was able to submit an application to USSFCU. Didn't apply for the loan because, again, at that time I had already secured financing at a really good rate, so I didn't see the need to do that. But just for purposes of this video, and again, this may change when you're shopping for your car, let's take a look at their published rates as of today. We're just going to look at auto loans. So new auto loans as low as 3.99%. If you're going up to 72 months, up to 5%. So again, very competitive. And if we're comparing it to Tesla, lower than that presumed 5.69. So if you're in the market for a new car, if you're in the market for a Tesla, and you want to test out the waters with a credit union, definitely check out United States Senate Federal Credit Union. Again, to apply, there's no geographic limitation, no employment limitation. You have to join a group. Again, you can find out when you go to membership, like there's multiple ways to join, but the easiest one I found was to join their consumer group. It was like $15. Start a share account for like $5, so $20, and then you have a membership account set up with USSFCU. And as you can see, you've got very competitive auto rates here. Second one I came across, and this is more like advertising on my newsfeed when I was scrolling through my phone, is PenFed Credit Union. Again, it doesn't seem like there are any limitations with you having to be someone, family member who's in one of the armed forces. I haven't found any geographic limitations. It seems like you can just apply. A lot of it is done online. So this may be another one. And then in terms of rates, published rates, again, for today, as you can see, new auto purchase still very competitive on the lower side of 5%, 5%, so 5.19 all the way up to 5.64. And we are still lower than our 5.69% published using Tesla financing. So again, if you're thinking about financing a new vehicle purchase, a new Tesla purchase, you may want to examine PenFed Credit Union. I think I saw somewhere, though, on loan applications with PenFed that they don't allow, or they don't approve loans with they don't allow co-borrowers. So you have to have, I think with PenFed, I should like make sure about this before I state it, but I think they don't allow co-borrowers, and so you'll have to be sure that your credit history, credit score is strong before applying with PenFed Credit Union. All right, the final one that I came across that doesn't have too much by the way of like hoops to jump through to become a member is NASA Federal Credit Union. Again, this is just something that appeared on my news feed, I guess, while I was like looking for banks and credit unions that I can apply to. And yeah, I've never heard of NASA Federal Credit Union. There are membership restrictions to like people who work with NASA or in certain industries. But the way around that is if you join it's like the a not-for-profit organization that they have, the National, let me just go to it real quick, membership, become a member. Uh-oh. And you do here. You become a member of the National Space Society. I forgot what the cost is to join. Um, let's say it's $100, but you can do that and then become a member of the national. Get a membership for 1 year, and then you can apply for a loan with the NASA Federal Credit Union. Now rates aren't as competitive, but I wonder what that would look like if someone was in a pinch needing financing. They went to the big banks and couldn't get approved by Chase, TD Bank, Wells Fargo, whatever the case is. A credit union may be a little more flexible. Again, that's just historically what I found. Um, APRs are a little higher, so you're not beating the interest rate. But again, it's worth examining if you're looking for financing in a pinch. So those are three credit unions. Again, USS, the United States Senate Federal Credit Union, PenFed Credit Union, and NASA Federal Credit Union. Again, don't have like traditional credit unions. They don't have geographic limitations. A lot of their application is online. They do a lot of transactions online or digitally. So it might be, again, if you're looking to finance a Tesla, one of the great ways to avoid the big banks, maybe get some competitive financing by looking at these three. And again, at least with USSFCU, PenFed, it appears the same thing. There are no geographic limitations, no employment limitations either. You have to join like one or two consumer education groups or something like that. But for $10 or $15 to save on interest rate or bring down my rate, it's worth it. With that, if you found this video helpful, drop a comment below, like it. Also, if you are in the market for a Tesla and found this video helpful, maybe like you had no idea that you could apply to a credit union without being like part of a union or something like that. Hey, why not do me a huge favor? And when you order your Tesla, I'll drop my referral link. Tesla, if you're not aware, has a referral program. That is right. So when if you place the order, right, design your model through someone's link, it'll show up here that your referral link is activated. So Richard's referral link is activated. And the awesome thing about that is that they do it by points now. So you'll get points that you can convert towards supercharger miles. I'll get points, supercharger miles. It's a win-win situation and a great way to spread the love. So if you did find this video helpful, and hey, it ends up helping you financing your Tesla, show me some love, drop some love with the video, and also please use my referral code so that both you and I benefit and get some Tesla points and hopefully some supercharger miles out of this. Anyways, with that, hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, you take care, be well, bye for now.